The actual withdrawal of Britain from the EU is a couple years away, as you heard Phil reporting there. So in the meantime, what happens? Joining me now is lawyer and economist Ben Stein. I'm sure you recognize him. He was also a speechwriter for President Richard Nixon, and he's the author of How to Ruin Your Financial Life. Your gut reaction, sir, to what's happened. Should global economies be worried here? Should global economies be worried here? Should global economies be worried here? Should global economies be worried here?
Not at all. The amount of yelling and screaming about this is insanely larger than is merited. Especially in the U.S., our trade with England is a very, very small, or with Britain, I should say, is a very, very small part of U.S. GDP. If it fell by 10%, 20%, which is very unlikely, it would not even be a rounding error in the national income accounts. The stock market has gone crazy. It's knocked trillions off the value of U.S. Securities over a possible loss of billions in exports. It just makes no sense at all.
And I heard you say before you think traders have been scaring people.
Traders like to scare people. I mean, let's remember, the market is not made by a brooding omnipresence in the sky. The market is not made by some kind of incredibly brilliant computer. The market is made by human beings, and they make money by tricking other human beings and by scaring other human beings and making the other human beings do a stampede to the wrong side of the trade, and then they step in on the right side of the trade. There's just no reason why we should have a loss, as I say, in the trillions on the stock exchange and the value of U.S. securities over an inconsequential change in our exports. It just makes no sense. It's only because the traders are whipping people up. Traders will make money at it. The ordinary citizen should just stay the course, stay invested, and look on to the next mountain peak.
So you think that in the long run, because I know so many people today, Ben, are looking at their 401ks and they're freaking out about it. You're saying in the long run, do not worry too much. And what about here in the next couple of years as we're waiting for this transition? We know there's going to be some volatility. Obviously, there are going to be some tremors back to the U.S. because of that. People just should not worry, you're saying.
Well, I'd say it's a buying opportunity. I think that the smart people that I know are buying
$500 I bought today.
The United Kingdom
BlackBerry,
and for Western
Bank
Europe.
of America.
There's just nothing that's very bad that's happening to the U.S. economy, unless there's some other shoe left to drop, and I can't think that what that would be. The U.S. is not even particularly a big exporting country as a percentage of the GDP. There's almost nothing that could happen in the way of U.S. exports, except if they were screwed up in China. That would be a big blow to the U.S. economy. Certainly, a very small change in exports to the United Kingdom is not going to make a darn bit of difference to the U.S. economy. People just hold on to your 401ks if you got some spare cash. As I say, the smart money that I know is buying, not selling today.
Donald Trump said today, Ben, that this bodes well for him. And obviously, we look now at what we've seen happen in Britain. And we know that there's a lot of discontent with government here in the U.S., and we're seeing that now in Britain as well. Do you think that you can really come to any conclusions about what's going on in the U.S. by looking at this measure?
Not exactly, because I think this measure has a lot to do with the extreme unease about Middle Eastern and North African immigration to the United Kingdom. Lots and lots of crime, especially sexual crime associated with these immigrants. We're not having that problem in the United States, as far as I know. So I'm not sure that the same rules and motivations apply. By the way, this is interesting. The people who are voting in this BREXIT referendum were polled about this. There's been a lot of stories about this. They weren't so much concerned about regulations from Brussels or tariff policy or trade policy. They were concerned about people coming here from the Middle East, coming there from the Middle East, and doing very bad crimes with British women. And then somehow this has become transmuted into a fight about trade, and it isn't about trade.
I know there were some attacks in Cologne, New Year's Eve, I believe, right?
No, in Britain, madam, in Britain, there's a thing called the Rotherham incidents, in which hundreds of British girls were very badly mistreated, and I say girls, I don't mean women, girls were mistreated by Middle Eastern immigrants. This is a very serious matter in the United Kingdom. They take it very seriously.
Certainly, and obviously a lot of fear, and we're seeing that in the result of this Brexit.
Get rid of
Ben
Muslims
Stein,
in America.
So much. We appreciate you.
No immigration to America.
Thank you.
All right,
We got
thank you, sir, so
350
much.
million
Next,
people here. We don't
keeping an
need
eye
any
on
more
US
immigration. We don't need any
markets,
more new
the Dow
people.
is down. You can see, actually, it's come up just a little bit there, down 553 points.